Oh, jeez. Yeah, but you were the only one that had the honor of me playing in Legends of Greyhawk with you DMing. At GaryCon last year. That's the only picture I looked for other pictures. At GaryCon, that was the only picture I had, was the post-game pic that we did. I tried to find I couldn't find my character sheet, but I found the handout for the adventure you did. I don't know where I know I was using that sheet as a reference post for the Melf project. Yeah. All right, we're just doing our ads. I appreciate you all coming on. Thank you. I know we got we'll have Greg come on too.
Your repurposed freighter drifts
hey Anna,
through
guess
space.
what?
As you stare out at the
Chuck
star
promised me a new
void,
ad.
Another ship
this
comes
week.
in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II
Finally.
campaign. Oh,
Yeah.
did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign.
That's.
All right, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear
better not
sites.
be the Trollcon
Witnesses
teaser.
report seeing
Sparky,
glowing
that's
lights
over a
and
year
the dead
away.
rising from their graves.
So,
and amidst the
no,
chaos,
it's not.
3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters.
Oh my
gosh. How do you do that? I have the right tools for the job.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to hearing about it. Really am. What about Unplugged? Are you going to Unplugged this year? Super cool. Tony going to be in another room, or is she going to be next year? What's Okay, sounds good. Cool. Oh, nice. Very cool.
A story once spoken is ageless.
That's super cool.
The dungeon.
I haven't seen Spider-Man or the Odyssey yet. I'm so
the
freaking overwhelmed.
are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness, the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices, the castle.
Oh yeah, it's a great experience.
Zagig
just
will
you know,
test the
it feels like it's a
Those
Twilight
unlucky
for it, and I hope not. You
will
know,
never
because
escape.
yeah. Yeah, jump on it. We're almost ready there, Aaron. Hang tight. Whoops. I hit a wrong button, everyone. I hit multiple wrong buttons there. I don't know what I did. I slipped and I put my hand against my stream deck and it went crazy. Whoops. What? Yeah, that was great. So, no, yesterday was a nightmare. Yesterday was a freaking nightmare. Have Windows 11 override my Ethernet driver, my killer Ethernet driver, so that it now gives me 1/10 of my upload speed, and it happens just randomly at any time. So I got to reinstall a 4-year-old driver to make it work. It's so frustrating. Yeah, I'm going to stream on Linux with Anna. Come on. Oh God. Yeah.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared.
Good. Right,
I
so
grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our Great Dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get ready set encounter live now on Kickstarter.
That's all he needs. That's all he deserves. Just kidding.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter.
What's up? Hey, Josh. Nice Gary Con shirt.
Problem.
Talking about me? I can't hear.
Yes.
What do you say?
I just said your hair's getting in the way of your mic. That's all. Yeah, stick your tongue out. That's fine. That's good. That's awesome. All right. Welcome. Sunday evening. Finish up this week. Yes. I call this technical issue week.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Is it which number technical issue would this be then?
Oh, yesterday morning. You missed it. You missed it yesterday. You were on Thursday. Yesterday, the whole. Well,
I tried to come in and watch on yesterday, but
it was great.
You guys were having technical issues.
Yeah, because of like I said, Windows 11 overriding my killer Ethernet driver, which is just wonderful, and that doesn't work. But neither here nor there. We got a great crew tonight. Never talked about the details of Legends of Greyhawk. I'm sure we all want to hear about it because this is the Greyhawk community here on Twitch. So we have a ton of people that are going to be jumping in. So why don't we introduce everyone? Tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll go from there. So, and David, please start it off. Thank you so very much for coming on tonight. I know how busy you are. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. So we're going. We're grooving.
Yeah, we're good.
Are we going? Yeah, is the show going?
We're live. Yeah,
we're live.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, so my name's Dave Christ. A lot of people know me as the Bald Man. I've been playing D&D since 1982. I'm old and bald. Right. So a long time. I run. Right, Bald Man Games. I run all the D&D at all the big shows, right? All the PAXs, Gen Con, those little shows, right? That I'm sure you've all heard about. I got my feet wet with Wizards, with Living Greyhawk back at the end of '99.
Right at the end.
Right, good old Living Greyhawk, right? Where at one point I was the only member on the Circle of Six until Jason joined me. during that transition period in year 2 and to year 1. Yeah, and so I did that until I started running shows. And then, we kind of passed it off to what we call the third generation, right? Which was, everybody else started coming along. Well, I think that's when Greg, when you were stepped up and Chris moved on, but yeah, I'm a big Greyhawk fan, big Greyhawk goob, since the original days. Happy to be on.
I just don't know if this is gonna work.
Here you go.
Oh, Tony
Yes.
just puts it down.
Yay, Tony's audio's working.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's okay, Tony. Take your time. David, thanks for coming on. So sharing a lot of information, and I know the audience is gonna have a lot of questions for. You're almost as old as me, man. I started in '80 when it first came out, so it's like we're right there. We got decades and decades of experience just in this panel right here. Probably everyone's got 20 to 30 years minimum each. So it'll be a really great discussion. We'll skip Tony if she can't go, and go to Jeremy. You good?
I thought her audio was working.
Right. It was working.
Well, it should work, and I think
Yeah, you got
I think it's working.
Yeah, you got a little reverb, but it's okay. We can live with it.
Might be.
Well,
Are you and Jeremy in the same room based on the wall coloring?
Let me do this.
He's gonna do something.
Yeah, you guys have to mute when the other one's talking. That'll
There you
work. Good, Tony.
Hi. Oh, it's still echoing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Sorry. Let me see if I can
Tony.
turn something off here.
It's like a stadium effect. Tony.
Well,
Tony,
I can always
Tony,
go in another room.
bro.
Yeah, we're gonna start hearing pinch hitting for a page, just like an airplane.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
I know. Look, we're allowed
All
to
right,
quote,
well.
we're allowed to quote old movies here.
Is this really bad?
That's not bad. Just don't get angry at anyone and yell like you normally do in my games. Go ahead, Tony.
I'm Tony Winslow-Brill.
That's okay.
I am one of the admins for the new Legends of Greyhawk. I am now convention liaison. So
very cool.
we wear a lot of different hats. Yeah.
That's excellent.
So, and I have been doing Greyhawk for a long time, and I'm not going to tell you how long because that would out how old I am.
But that's okay, Tony.
But
none of us are getting younger here.
let's say I've known some of these guys for a really long time.
Yes, and Tony also has a great character and the Ed Greenwood group 2 drink minimum. There, a very sassy fighter, half elven fighter mage. Yes, so
Yes,
Ed loves.
she
that
is
character.
quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I have a
welcome.
good time. So we gotta play again sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. That reverb's way down now. So whatever Jeremy's doing, it's working. So we'll skip over Jeremy while he's off and go. Hey, Greg, good to see you. Greg Marks, welcome.
Hey everybody. I am the content. Oh wait, wrong campaign. I am the story lead for Legends of Greyhawk. Or not story lead. What is my title? Creative lead. That's what it is now.
Oh, awesome.
This isn't working. No,
I'm the creative lead for Legends of Greyhawk. I started playing D&D in '81, so right in between Dave and Jay.
It's awesome.
And I've been doing Greyhawk. I became a Triad member in Living Greyhawk in was it the first year? I think it might have been the first year, somewhere in the middle of the first year. And have been doing organized play pretty much ever since then.
Were you divers?
Nope, High Folk.
High Folk, okay.
Hey.
High Folk, yeah, all right. And I can't remember who was at divers, because I think you guys maybe had the High Folk and the divers guys playing at the same time back about 5 years ago when I ran a couple games for you guys. I think.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I think I was. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. Sounds like you guys. Get bigger and bigger already. It's just so exciting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Joe Selby. That's it. You're right, Iron. Joe Selby. Yep. Good call.
I think one of the things that delights me the most, as a convention organizer and Greyhawk fan, is that when talking to these folks and they talk about the deep knowledge, and you start looking at the adventures that they're choosing to write, right, are set in very specific areas, and the knowledge and lore that they know that goes into them is just, it gives you the chills. It's just it's beautiful, man. I know that sounds weird, whatever, lame, but it's just I love it. I love hearing about the stories, back in the Living Greyhawk days, and the enthusiasm for, the Greyhawk background, and now they get to write again for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm corny.
That it's almost a 2-year anniversary since when they opened up DM's Guild for Greyhawk, and then everyone just started going different directions with stuff, and so we're almost to the culmination from that point, and 2027 I think is going to be monstrous. Oh, by the way, everyone, giveaways. So I got two of our 8 sponsors. We got Arduin Emperor's Choice is going to do another one of their great Arduin card decks for their setting, one of the oldest settings, and then also one of these, you get one of those replica Conan swords they gave out at CNY Con. Still have a couple of those left, and then Troller Games $25 gift certificate to their site. All right, so get in on those. We'll do them at the end. Alrighty, so Jeremy, let me know if you're back on whenever you want to introduce yourself. But everyone knows you. So Astro Liar is always on in chat and wins a lot of the giveaways if you hadn't noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy wins a lot of them. So yeah, he's a regular in the chat as well. So David, can you and we're going to take questions from the audience. We got the active Twitch chat rolling here on our channel. How to get started this time? Like you had to wait until that DM's Guild opened up, and then you made contact with the people at WotC? Like how did the
No, so this started about probably a good the thoughts were a good 2 years before that book ever hit the shelf. It started with realizing that there was a new core book refresh coming. Mm-hmm. Which was always an opportunity, right? It's kind of a natural thing with conventions, right? A new core book is a chance for a new campaign, new stories, trying new things, right? Refreshing stuff. At the time, I didn't realize that Greyhawk was going to be in the DMG. No, really did. But I was putting plans in motion for like, hey, what do we think this new program should look like? What should it be focused on? What are we started doing surveys with players on, hey, campaigns in the past, what'd you like, what you didn't like, right? And then as soon as I knew, right, it was like 18 months out, I think 15 to 18 months out, I knew that Greyhawk was going to get at least 16 pages in the DMG. That immediately said, all right, cool, my framework is now shifted, right? The plan's still the same, but if Greyhawk's in the DMG, then we know that Greyhawk will be available on the DM's Guild, right? And then I'm instantly right, all right, we're doing a Greyhawk thing, because a lot of what I do is based around what I have passion for. I still have a day job, so everything that I'm doing for shows and writing and everything else is always time away from my family, time away from things that I could be doing otherwise. So I'm always like, it has to be something that I'm passionate about, because I'm just not going to waste my time, right? Even if they're like, well, you can make 500, like whatever, right? If I'm not passionate about it, I have no interest in it, right? So, right, when I knew Greyhawk was in the DMG, that instantly ramped up, the plans. And then I found out that they were, moving backwards in time, effectively for a lot of us, right? Of like, the story had gone to here, right? We weren't just rewinding to where, Living Greyhawk started, right? We were rewinding 7 years before that, I think it is, 10 years before that.
It's still nebulous. It's still nebulous. We don't know if it's 570, 576. We just don't know, really. And it's kind of keeping it nebulous isn't bad,
But, once all
in
those
the campaign,
things lined up.
Yeah, you have a campaign today. That makes sense. Yeah.
But when everything lined up, right? Everything lined up. I was like, awesome. We're launching a new campaign. It's going to be Greyhawk, right? And then they said, hey, we're going to do D&D at this Magic Con in Chicago. And I'm like, that's not a lot of time. But if that's my, right, it's like being in NASA. If that's my window to launch, then I'm gonna meet my window to launch, right? If that's when it has to be ready, that's when it's going to be ready. We brought on some fabulous writers, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
That's fantastic.
But I love the time rollback thing because one, it makes it easy to kind of flush out. Like everybody's like, well, what about Living Greyhawk? I'm like, it hasn't happened. Right? It's like the prequels, right? Anakin is still a good guy, right? He hasn't, right? He's not Vader yet. Right. But then it also makes, one of the old comic series I always loved, and they did the animated ones now is What If, right? Which is what we get to do now, right? We're like, what if? Like we know what the history is, but the campaign isn't going to unroll the same way because what's the fun in that? I mean, no home game ever rolls out the way you think it's going to roll out, and it never rolls out the same way twice. So why should we? Right? And so it's going to be fun.
David, you hit the nail on the head there, and people are like, "Well, you're gonna, because Anna and myself and a couple others in this Melt book, they're like, you're gonna destroy the canon." Like, no, we're gonna tell stories that existed back then that no one heard. Right? It's that simple. Because it was an open canvas back in the day. You had some cities, you had a couple adventures, but the entire world was empty.
Right.
The Darlene map was empty, so it's like there's plenty of stories to tell. It shouldn't affect anything from our end coming forward. And you guys make some changes, and it's official lore changes. And that'll be interesting too, because then people have their options. Go ahead there.
So Greg chose the Bright Desert. Is that how that worked, Greg? What happened how did that happen?
So I have a series of adventure only adventures. So we have this program in the campaign to make it easier for convention organizers to afford to bring staff members out by monetizing a special experience that they can do. So if you're an WotC employee, one of the admins, or one of the story leads, you can write adventures that other people can't run. And do things that are not otherwise available. And so the story I've actually been telling, well, it started in the Bright Desert. The next one goes to Castle Farlast in Eridee, and is really telling the story of the splitting of the circle. So it's before that. It's Rary is still a good guy, and Rary is sending you to do things. And in the first adventure, actually, you recover a symbol, the symbol of Demogorgon, the one that supposedly did not affect Rary at all, but temporarily drove Mordenkainen insane, and Rary was able to save him. So the real question in the series is becoming, is Rary actually affected, and he just didn't go all crazy? Did he turn evil? Or is it that the rest of the circle got a little off, and Rary realized things are not going right, and he's using the player characters to sort of work against the circle and, figure out, what's going on. So it's this chance to explore, like Jay said, these stories that really people didn't get to tell. Like, they were in this background and something would happen, and Rary's evil now. Well, why? What occurred? What was the
that was a little bit of a shock when From the Ashes came out.
Yeah, right.
What? Yeah, we had. It's funny. We just had Legends of Lore a week and a half last week about things you would change in Greyhawk. Like Prophet's Measure, Gary Julian was involved and all. We did a little tidbits of things here and there, and that was one of them. It's like, what the heck? There was a lot of that stuff going on. And some really nice things that. So this is an opportunity for everyone. A lot of people are just so worried that it's not going to affect your own game. I mean, just
you play whatever you want at home, right?
Right. Run your game as you see fit.
Absolutely.
If you see things you like and you want to steal them, rock and roll. You want to modify something because it fits your campaign better. Awesome, right? Roll dice, have fun with your friends.
Absolutely.
Right? There are no D&D police.
So I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was getting all geeky when you guys are talking about the deep lore and stuff like that. Yeah. And once these things go out, like the adventures, Greg, that you were talking about, or Dave, is there a place to get them if I wanted to use them in my campaign?
Yeah. Can we
They're
buy
all
them?
up on. We started in April with our first, package per se. I know they're using a different name, Greg, and the name's not coming to me. I know
Bundle.
Something. Bundle. There we go. Bundle. Yeah. Bundle. See, now I have that commercial in my head, right? The bundle Rooney. Right now, that's going to be in my head. Well, we started in April. There's a Legends of Greyhawk bundle that goes up on D&D Beyond every month. So to date, we've had 4 of them go up. The next one, I believe, is I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after. Will actually be the second Domain of Greyhawk bundle from this past Gen Con just a couple weeks ago. Will be going up, and then right there, it's a 3 or 4 adventures bundled together every single month. So right now what does that work out to? I think one of them had 3.5 ventures. So right now
it's got an intro in it. So I believe currently it's 3, 3, 3, and 4, and the next one I think is 3. The one after that is 3. The one after that I believe is 4. Oh wait, no, it's 3, 4.
It's 3, then it'll be 4, then I think
it's 4, then it's 3 again. Yeah.
But by the end of the year, there will be about 27 to 30 Greyhawk adventures up on D&D Beyond that you can.
D&D Beyond.
Yes, D&D Beyond, not on DM's Guild. They're on D&D Beyond. We were quite happy with we actually have a landing page on there. There's a Legends of Greyhawk landing page on D&D Beyond.
Can we get that link to post in the chat?
Yeah, if someone wants to put it in chat, I'll try and pop it up.
Yeah. So we have a landing page there, which I think is pretty important, right? There's a lot of platforms that are amazing, but there's only one D&D Beyond getting probably tens of millions of views a month, right? So having us in front of that many eyeballs, I think is just good for Greyhawk, right? For all the new players.
Oh, absolutely.
And you don't have to play it in D&D Beyond if you don't want to, but if you do, it's completely integrated. Like it comes with the VTT, right? Like all the maps, all the tokens, everything is there for you should you choose to do it that way.
Yeah. And you can write with the D&D Beyond account, like literally you click on a monster and the stat block pops up, right? It's all linked and put together for you. It makes it nice and easy.
Thanks, Troy. Appreciate it. Okay, 1 second here.
Yeah, it's really slick actually.
So if I look on the D&D Beyond site and I see find a game, Legends of Greyhawk games are waiting for you no matter where you like to play D&D. And you can check in with your local game store to find upcoming sessions near you. Can you play Legends of Greyhawk at your local game store?
You can play it in your basement. Yeah. It doesn't have to be your parents' basement. You could actually be a grown-up homeowner and play it in your own basement like I do, right? But not like the old stereotypes, right? But literally, as long as you're following the rules of the campaign, and the rules of the campaign are literally like 1 page.
It's a two-sided.
It's a two-sided piece of paper. It's like make a first-level character. Don't roll your stats. Don't roll your hit points. Congratulations, right? Sit down and play a game. Have fun. But yeah, stores can organize game days at the stores. You can run it at your house. A lot of Gen Con people were reaching out, right? And they're like, hey, we see, the Realms of Pharaoh, right? You guys are running number 4, 5, and 6. What about 1, 2, or 3? And we literally would just point them to D&D Beyond and go, hey, you and your buddies, you could go get these and play them at your house this weekend. You can play the first trilogy at your house. And then when you show up at Gen Con, you're ready to play parts 4, 5, and 6, right? You don't feel like you've missed something, right? That you're behind everybody else.
That's super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So here's this. Josh, sounds like I may have to finally join D&D Beyond. Finally.
Oh shoot, Safeton.
Resistance is futile, right?
We thank you for your business.
I mean, I wrote for Dave too, so you'd be, supporting not just Dave but me, right?
I think we both have, and Jeremy will have adventures in bundles that are posted.
Yes,
excellent.
Everybody comes home.
Yeah.
4 adventures. So it says 4 adventures, levels 1 to 4, 6 maps here. Good, cool. Just for this pack.
Are you, Jeremy?
Yeah. Well, I'll have the one that you and I wrote.
Yeah. So BMG, we have 2 bundles up there, right? We had the very first bundle, which was us revisiting Hamlet, Nolb, and the Moat House.
Yep.
Right. That was the very first trilogy we did, and then the second one is kind of a continuation of that, which moves to the City of Greyhawk. Which was our Gen Con adventures from last year.
Yeah, and then after that, we had a chance to visit the other POs.
Okay.
And see Lordship of the Isles as well as the Wild Coast.
Here we go.
But as you mentioned earlier when you were asking Greg about, we kind of divvied up the map, in Living Greyhawk, you had to actually physically go to a place to play a thing, right? You mentioned divers, right? You had to go to, what was it, Iowa, Missouri,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Basically
Nebraska.
that area.
Basically, are you surrounded by corn? Congratulations, you're in divers, right? You play a diver's adventure. Right? Are you surrounded by Germans and cheese? Awesome. You must be in the Wisconsin area. You get to play high folk. We kind of did the same thing, but we didn't geographically lock it this time because we want everybody to feel like they can play and participate.
That's smart.
But at least from our perspective, we locked the storylines into shows that are kind of geographically close. So like Realms of Faronde is locked into Winter Fantasy and Origins, which are 2.5 hours, right? Square in the middle of the Midwest. So if your characters are playing in those areas and those storylines, they will be premiering at those shows year after year after year. So that kind of becomes like, that's my home base character, right? If, we have a high folk area storyline, which is linked to all of our virtual D&D weekend online shows, right? So if you're an online player, wherever you are in the world, you're like, high folk's my place, right? I play my high folk, I play it online, right? I can participate in all the stories. So we still want communities to gather around those stories. And if those communities are sitting across the table from each other to show, even better. But we don't want to limit, I live in a place where I can't get to a show, therefore I can't participate in the campaign. No, everybody can play.
Oh, excellent. Excellent, Jeremy. Jeremy, why don't you introduce yourself? I cut, because you were off too, please.
I was grabbing earbuds to fix with that reverb, but
it's very slight. It's survivable. It's no big deal. You're good.
I'm Jeremy Vosberg. I'm not officially part of any of the admin or shows or whatever. My experience with Legends of Greyhawk has been judging and writing. I got to write a module with my better half for David Thomas and Valley and his County of Ernst. We got to do a murder mystery. I've been writing for Organized Play since 2005, 2003. Got started with Living City all those years ago, and I did a count recently. I think I've got just over 24 mods I've written just for different campaigns over the years. So it's more of a hobby than a job for me, but I enjoy it a lot.
So I played in that murder mystery at Gary Con last year. And that's the picture scroll I put up on the post. There we go. It's DM Chris and his wife. DM Chris 1972 is probably in chat, and his wife, myself and Jeremy played it, and I even have the handouts here. It was great, man. I really loved it. And I'm not a 5e aficionado at all, right? But I really loved the game. It was really.
You faked it very well, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, there you are, Chris. Yeah, it was a great game. I was feeling like crap too when we played that, and my voice
was Sunday
gone.
Morning.
Oh man, yeah, my voice was completely gone then, but it was great. We had a wonderful time. So if I'm recommending it, and that's I'm gonna ask some really deep cut questions here in a little bit, but it was a blast, and great job with that. So and this website you just brought up, Jeremy, tell us about this.
That one is Dave's. That might be the better person to ask. I think he's the one that organized it, but I figured it would be good for you guys to know that one too, because it gives a good overview of all the regions.
It's Legends of Greyhawk. Yeah, please.
Well, Dave. That is kind of like one of the first rules of business, right? As soon as you come up with a good idea, you should go grab the website, right? Yeah. So, as soon as I was like, hey, what am I going to call this? We went and snagged this. I think eventually a lot of what's on this website will migrate to the D&D Beyond one, right? We're in the process of that. Right. But yeah, this is where we kind of created our cornerstone of somebody who has no familiarity with organized play or how Legends of Greyhawk works. This is kind of our starter primer page. This is where you can go see all the adventures that have come out, everything that's coming out in the future, where they're going to be played at, little snippets of information, an FAQ, just good, solid information.
Summer rules updates. Interesting.
We started with also running book, but as new books come out and they have cool new things in them, right? Players want to use it doesn't matter what campaign you're playing, what edition you're playing, right? When Unearthed Arcana came out back in the day with Thief Acrobat and everything else, what did everybody want to use? everything from
Barbarian.
that book until the binding fell apart, right? But setting that part aside, it's the same thing, right? That Arcana Unleashed book
David,
we came out with.
watch this.
Oh, 100%. You and
Oh, Jay, I thought you were
90%
going to make a joke about kicking the ball down the fairway and calling it summer rules.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to show a binding that is falling apart on me right there in Arcana. So yeah,
that's because we loved our old books and we used the bejeebus out of them.
Well,
right?
but Jay, what you got to do is you got to get one of these things over here, the reprints. That way you can.
That original though, I think that's a classic. That's actually the first project I did anything with. I play tested that book.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's one of those that it's got great things in it. It's got things I just don't understand. We could be all day long talking about why they switched from the Dragon 72 version of the Cavalier to the crappy Cavalier version in this book, but we don't need to discuss that now. So
aren't there like 3 versions of Cavaliers?
There's multiple. So we don't need to talk about it. Tenny's like, where are you guys going? So yeah.
So one of the things I noticed also is that I think Baldman's got virtual Legends of Greyhawk games every month. Is that still happening?
Yeah, so we run a virtual D&D weekend, right, which sprung up out of the times that were not times, right? The COVID times, right? When we were all
the 367th of March.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And right. And so we started virtual D&D weekends, and we've been running them for, doing the math, right? We're over 6 years now. And so we run an online convention once a month, every month, with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players, right? It was Adventures League back in the day. It's now probably 90+% Legends of Greyhawk. So again, right, you can play, like, you don't have a local group, your local store's not running it, you can hop online and play. And as I mentioned before, High Folk is our online region. So this November, this will be the second year, we actually stopped doing our virtual D&D weekends in November, and we do what's called Weekend in High Folk. And so the normal convention goes away, and we actually do a big, massive premiere of a whole bunch of new content, and basically make the entire weekend themed around High Folk. And there's special events and authors and just all kinds of fun stuff. We make it a big deal, right? And so our next one of those will be in November. It's a good time.
So now I'm going to be Mr. Geek here. High Folk is what? The Valley? How far into the Vestby does it go? How far northwest into Pearland does it go? How far into Furundi does High Folk go? I'm just curious.
It depends on who you ask, right? It's like the border with your neighbor's yard, right? With their dog coming over and crapping in your yard, right? Is the line here or there, right? It's what you want it to be. What does the story lead you to, right? If the story leads you to, I want the line to be here because this adventure is revolved around a dispute with Pearland and, who owns this new dwarven mine with gems in it. Awesome. That's where the line is. Don't ask me next week because I'll move it again on you. Right. Artistic license.
Fantastic. So it's a lot less stringent than the original Living Greyhawk, right? I mean, and that is making it accessible.
Everything was assigned to somebody, right? And so anytime there was something on the border, you literally had triads poking each other and running mad and asking who owned it. Like, is this ours or is this theirs, right? And we don't have that as much. There's less of us. There's only 3 premier organizers. We have the Central Floness kind of as our playground. So really, if I'm having arguments, I'm really arguing with myself. Not saying that's any easier or harder, but
we can win.
And we hopefully mitigate a lot of that in that sort of, unlike before where there was a circle that each of them had a bunch of triads and all of that had to go through that. All of those adventure pitches, sort of shortened versions, come to me. And I'm sort of monitoring hey, you guys are doing something with this NPC, but so is that person. So you two need to talk and make sure that you're not crossing streams, that kind of stuff. So there is a little bit of oversight from the standpoint of keeping that from happening. And it's much less adversarial, I think, than the previous system was. It's a lot more. This is a lot more collaborative.
Well, there's a lot less content too, right?
Yeah,
Because
also
most
true.
triads were putting out 8 adventures. Some were putting out 10 a year, right? 20 triads, plus your core adventures, plus your special adventures. I mean, it was nothing for Living Greyhawk to have 200 plus rounds of adventures in a single year. And it's because you needed so much content because people couldn't travel, right? And
That
so you
said,
needed
we
enough
are
content
over
to make your
60.
local people happy. And it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was utterly unsustainable in any fashion, right?
Yeah.
But
the burnout rate was insane for triads and their people and stuff.
We've heard all the horror stories.
But we've also heard, true, Adam. We've also heard the crazy stories about Casey Brown driving all over the country, right?
Oh yeah,
there are a lot
of people actually,
we've heard
kind of travel too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like he that enjoyed it. So, but I know that's nowadays
to be young and in college again when we did do things like that and drive to Iowa or drive to Milwaukee or drive to Chicago.
I went to California.
I was in Australia running Voluna mods at one point.
Oh my gosh!
Wow!
Right, it was.
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. But it's great memories. You know, that's the thing. It's just a wonderful.
It was
memory.
great. It was great. Yeah. It was like nostalgia is great. People, they always have to remember nostalgia is just not the thing you were doing. It's also the place and the people and the time. Yeah. Right. And so it's fun to go back and look at those things, but you really can't recreate them. Right. Because, we're all old. We stand up and our knees pop, our backs crack. Right. A 6-hour car ride or a 10-hour car ride with 7 people in the car. We're like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that. When it used to be, right, you just piled in the car and you did your thing.
And then there's a lot of us that missed it, like David, like the group from PA, Jersey, and I think Virginia and New York. They were running Keoland games literally 6 miles from where I live right now, and I never got involved, because we had our small group and we didn't, that wasn't my thing with my guys, at that time. And it's like, wow, I missed out on some of those memories. So like for some of us, like this may be an opportunity to relive it, and just meet. It's a great way to meet people too. Really a great way.
Well, we're proof. I met Greg and Tony by going to High Folk and playing at those conventions and learned more about them when they came to the Twin Cities to play the Shieldland conventions. Right. And via that, I met Dave and Josh. It becomes a pretty big just web over the time, of meeting people, and it's good peeps and lots of good memories.
Absolutely.
Same reason I still go to Gen Con every year is to see these people.
I mean, it also, Living Greyhawk turned out pretty good for our industry, because if you look at the people that are at a lot of the different companies, a good chunk of them are people that were doing stuff in Living Greyhawk.
They earn their spurs there.
And all of us should be a little jealous of Eric Mona, because if you saw this weekend, he went to, and I remember, I'm from Philly, so Phillies played Twins in Iowa at the Field of Dreams. He was there.
Field of Dreams.
He was actually there with his dad at the Field of Dreams on Thursday. I was like,
that does not surprise me, because you know what his father did, right?
No, was he an announcer or something?
He was on the local AM station that carried the Twins and did reporting on the Twins for years. That's awesome.
Awesome.
So Eric being that one guy that everyone, all these people.
Minnesota has a baseball team?
Stop, Josh.
I think it ended in 91, 92, actually, unfortunately.
With Kirby Puckett, right? Yeah. That's not nice, Josh. That really isn't.
What? I'm from Chicago. What do I got to talk about?
Yeah, the Living Greyhawk team. All right.
I think my Bears are going to Hammond, Indiana.
We want to keep this open. So please, if Anna hasn't asked anything yet, so Anna.
Oh, I just enjoy the discussion. It's so awesome to just listen to.
Audience, if you got questions, I'm going to throw out some. All right. So you said you're going to, because it's going to pertain to a lot of things that are going to be going on 27. We know there's a Drelza book coming out, right? We know there's a Melf book coming out, right? So are you guys going to possibility of incorporating those stories into like a Shieldlands or a Corn Society where we're going to be, or what Drelzen in Paraland, or wherever wherever that book starts? Are you going to be possibly expanding based on published source books that are going to be coming out?
So we, BMG, have something coming out this fall that hasn't been announced yet. I believe the announcement will be in the 4th quarter third-party publisher newsletter right? Which will be leaking some stuff that we're doing that potentially ties into, the Witch Queen book. Which is funny, right? I have to look at for a long time, all my stuff is code names. I'm sure Greg and them get it right. It's project this,
It's
project
terrible.
that, project this, and then they become a name, and somebody says the name, and I'm like, what was that? And they're like, oh, that's Project Gummy Bear, and I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha, I know what that is. But yeah, we're aware of the the Witch Queen book next summer. So how much we tie into it or not tie into it, I can't say. But I can say, right, that we know about it. We have known about it. Right.
I like Greg's wry smile where he's like, oh, what am I allowed to talk about?
I would say that there is of all the stuff coming out.
It's hard.
There is a non-zero chance some of it will be tied in and some of it won't be.
Right. I got it.
Right. It's part of it is right. We haven't while I've seen the story synopsis and all the little tidbits, people think knowing stuff is cool. Knowing stuff sucks because you get the Greg's look.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil. I don't want to screw something up. I don't want to Amazon it and put the book up before Watsy's announced it, or roll 20 and whatever it was 3 weeks ago. But yeah, we are aware of it. The Melf book is different, right? The Melf book, right? That's another publisher coming out with it, right? Which I'm sure Luke and his crew are going to do a lot of fun stuff. But that's a completely different book than, the Wizards book, right? I have no visibility into it. I have no clue what's in the book. I have no input into it. I have no, right? So to me, of course, I'm going to get the book and read the living crap out of it, right? But it's a different widget.
Why can't we bring you, Anna, why can't we talk to Luke and bring him into a meeting?
That's above our pay grade. So
I know, but maybe no one's really thought about it. I like thinking outside the box. And maybe then they know some of the stuff and coming up, at Gary Con next year.
The pay grade is the question, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but the good thing,
that's a really big up here question.
But we got Luke and Andrew Scott Perry are get things done, right?
Yeah, but I agree with you, Dave. With power comes responsibility, and with knowledge comes responsibility. True. So I'm so happy that I don't know that much. So it's great.
Well, and sometimes it gets hard because you're like, was this already talked about? Is this at the point where I could say something, or am I forgetting? When can I talk about this? Or when can I mention this and bring it out? Because especially if you don't remember, wait, what code name is that again? Yeah.
My long pause at the beginning of every question is 50% that running through. Wait, what's announced?
Yeah, and
we can see your facial expressions. I mean, it's oh, what do I say here?
But I mean, as we all know, right, the process of getting adventures done, right, for us, right, we're 6-7 months out, right? So when we're talking next, adventures for next Gen Con, those authors are probably being assigned in December or January, right? And the writing's already happening in February. Especially with things that are going to be, they're going to come out on D&D Beyond shortly after they premiere, right? Because getting things ready for D&D Beyond is a whole different thing than editing a book, right? Because it's not, right? You're not it's not a PDF, right? It's not like I got a Word document and I hit the PDF button and I send it to somebody, right? It's got to be digested into this ecosystem, right, with tags and all this stuff, so that when you click on it and buy it, and it pulls up in D&D Beyond, and you pull up your maps and it works, right? There's a lot of work that goes into making an adventure ready for D&D Beyond, and that right. So you got to get ahead of it, or it won't work.
Depending on the adventure, it's a 9 to 12 month lead time.
Wow.
So when people ask questions about oh, this thing that's going to come out, are you going to adapt it? Well, we wrote that a year ago. I don't. It would be hard.
I am excited that we're ahead of that schedule. At least now, we're ahead of that schedule for the Greyhawk book next summer, which means the potential exists for us to do some cool, fun things if we have that ability to. If they hadn't brought us on till May of next year, that boat would have sailed. It would have been oh, that's awesome. If you would have told me 6 months ago.
Interesting.
It's a big difference too from the Living Greyhawk days where, there was more than once that somebody was writing the adventure as it was being played.
Yeah.
That happens. That happens a lot. Today, almost lots of DMs are improvising last second, right?
Yeah.
Just real life.
But that's something that a lot of people should kind of realize that the lead times are long. Meaning I worked on the maps and stuff for the Melps books for 2.5 years. And it's gone on and off and changed and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting.
I heard it was Jay slowing it down.
Yeah. But it's interesting because often when I come out and talk about a project, it's usually a year or two after I worked on it. So I'm working on things that I'm not talking about for another year or so. That's and especially since a lot of the projects I'm working on are 1, 2, 3, 4 years in the making. So
it's a great point, Anna. Everyone gets, like, for me, it's may you live in may you live in interesting times, right? It is.
Yeah.
If you told me 5 years ago we'd be here now, right, Josh? No way. Yeah. Everyone's like, Greyhawk's dead. We got to save it. We got to just publish Fanon, and we publish all these magazines are coming out. Earth Journal, Visions of Greyhawk, Greyhawk Journal, all the other things that have come out in the last couple of years, right?
Maybe 5 years ago, it felt like everybody was personally trying to save Greyhawk.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's a lot of people who could actually do something about it, and we're doing stuff about it, whether it was Carlos slicing, writing his individual stuff, Anna, which was with their map, getting me back into it, all these like old Triad members and stuff, and people that were involved were just, like Thomas Valley is a huge Greyhawk nerd, and he's one of the other POs.
One of our POs.
Yeah, he's one of the POs. Dave's a PO. What's a PO stand for?
Premier Organizer.
Premier Organizer. It's I think if I went back and looked, I think it's my 17th technical title I've had over the years, right?
But it's all these guys doing that now. They're the ones designing this stuff, and I'm just so thrilled. I'm just so delighted and thrilled because I missed out on the Living Greyhawk era. That was during my Josh's wild years, we'll call that. So I'm glad to see what's happening now. If I wanted to get started, and I have not played any Greyhawk, Living Greyhawk, sorry, Legends of Greyhawk. I'll get there. Where would I? Would I start on a virtual weekend? Do I got to go follow Greg Marks's Twitter to figure out where he's going to be running these adventures?
Website.
Website. I mean, there's
you have a website. Put it in chat.
I put it back. We just did, dude.
His website.
You're asleep.
If you want the sneak peek ones, you should look at my website because I usually leak things before they appear.
Greg's
virtual D&D weekends are not a bad way to start, just because while you could go and download the first trilogy on D&D Beyond, right? Purchase it, you have it, run it for your group at home. Sometimes it's easier having somebody else run your first game, because then you're like, oh, that's how this works. That's how that little piece of, right? It's like a board game. Like reading the directions of a board game and playing it with your 3 friends is just a little bit harder than sitting down with your friend who's played it before, right? It can steer you, right? So virtual D&D weekends are a good way to be like, all right, I'm just going to dip my toe in. I can play one adventure. I can learn some of the basics. But then if you have a group at home, like you could use the store locator to find stores that are running it. You can just play it with your friends at home, and then every now and then maybe go to Gen Con, right? I know lots of people with Gen Con's their only show each year, right? And so they'll play tons of Legends of Greyhawk on virtual D&D weekend or the other virtual platforms. And then they come to Gen Con once a year and do the big, fun, exciting things, right? I'm sure there's Gary Con people who are the same way, right? Yep. Their Gary Con is their one big show every year, but it doesn't mean that the Legends of Greyhawk that they play at Gary Con and then they don't play it again for 11 months. No, you can play it at home. You can play it all over the place.
So Iron Chef
Wait,
Midi.
hold on a second. Yeah. Iron Chef Midi says, I'm running the original.
Yeah. Here we go. Let me show you. All right. So David, I don't know if you know, but we have our own con for the community. It's called Virtual Greyhawk Con. This is year 7 for it. Just to show you what we're doing. Tony and Jeremy have participated in the past, so let's take a look at the event schedule here. We'll get Iron Chef Midi's games up here. It's the first weekend in October, so great TTE, right, everyone? So here we go. This is it. A village called Hamlet right here. I think this is your first one for Iron Chef Midi. Am I correct? Yep. All right. So he just put these in, like, I think yesterday, and I really appreciate it. Caravans are long overdue, and whispers of danger drift through every tavern. A call for aid and Hamlet arrives as dark shadows creep in, ancient and forgotten places once more. Will you brave the shadows? For our adventure for calculators levels 1 to 4, taking place in the region of the realms of Ferrand. And here it is, already set up. It's right through our Virtual GrowCon Discord. All easy. Not all the games are live streamed, but there's a live stream. I'm working on the live stream highlighted event schedule. Albert Rodeo he's using, it's on the Virtual GrowCon Discord. So there you go. So you got 4 games in, Mitty. Are all 4 of them part, or is it 3 of the 4? Because I know you just put them in, so that's great to see.
So that would that be considered legit? Like, I take my 1st level character to one of those, and I walk out with a 3rd eventually, and I could go show up to a virtual, or I could go to Gary Con and sit down with the right leveled character, and I just keep playing, right?
There are people that are in Europe who have not set foot on the North American continent that have 6th and 7th level Legends of Greyhawk characters, and they've not gone to a convention. They've not done anything. They've been playing virtual online, but if some point, they start running them over there at Luca or somewhere else, they could show up with that character and play and be just fine.
How do we get some more Legends of Greyhawk games over at Virtual Greyhawk Con then, Jay?
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that on live. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I mean, we have Tony and Jeremy. I imagine they could, and Greg, they could run to 2 games each. I wouldn't ever impose on them.
Well, then, if all else fails, there are a whole lot of them posted to D&D Beyond.
Beautiful.
It's true.
Yep.
I will. How about I look at that weekend? My life is
she sounds tired.
pretty busy.
Already sound
and I can run some of the.
That'd be awesome.
I tell you what, Jay. I tell you what. I hadn't figured out what I was going to do yet. I thought I would do some Shieldland stuff, just to, show Anna how it's done. But
oh.
We just had our Shieldlands content, right? We have a trilogy set in the Shieldlands that I think is this weekend or next weekend up in Toronto.
Next, I believe.
Next weekend. So
we have Canada. 8-bit Sledgehammer says Fan Expo Canada.
Yep.
What's when does that become available? That content.
So
if it becomes available.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right now, it's not on the schedule. We only have things scheduled through the end of the year. Right now, as many people have noticed, there's more content coming out than there are slots to put it on D&D Beyond, which means everything that's being played isn't automatically going to show up on D&D Beyond. I wish it did, but we're working on, right, how do we support players that want to play some of those that aren't currently slotted? We have some meetings. We just don't have a solution right now yet.
All right, well, Jay, my commitment to you is I will run. While we're sitting here, I didn't know about the bundles. I mean, I knew about the bundles, that they existed somewhat, but I didn't know how to get them. I got them all. I'll pick an adventure and I'll run it a couple times then.
Would it be, I shouldn't say this in live stream, you could probably grease David or Greg or someone here for them to give you that bundle after it's been run officially.
No, I like to vote with my wallet.
It's okay. In today's world, that is the best vote.
Sounds good. All right, so you got whatever you want to run.
David and Greg support us in lots of other ways, and even if it's just emotional,
awesome.
They are, and of course Jeremy and Tony too.
People always ask me, they're like, "What are you going to buy at Gen Con this year?" And Gen Con for me in the dealer's hall is basically walking around to all of my friends' booths, so I can pick up whatever the thing is that they did since I last saw them. Right? Even if I'm like, all right, I'm going to put it on the shelf, and I will probably never ever find the time to read the thing. Right? That's a big part of the community. Is right. Find the cool things that your friends are doing and go support it. Right? Whether it's a show or a book or artwork or whatever.
Kickstarters and all my friends who write for Kickstarters.
It's crazy.
You look at Tony and Greg grin. So
yes, that will kill me.
Audience hasn't had many questions here, which I'm surprised. Well, all right. Will this stuff be available on Drive-Thru RPG? I don't think so, John. I don't think so.
Or DM's Guild.
Or DM's Guild. I don't think that's a direction. You need to go on to it'll be it's D&D Beyond only on these, which
right now it is only D&D Beyond.
Yeah. It's only D&D.
Am I able to print any of that stuff out? What if I'm going to be running it virtual right now. I don't need to print it out, but is it though?
I think there is a way to print it out. I'm not sure how clean it is. But I know there's no PDFs or anything of that nature of them.
Josh,
well, what do you do for
snip each page? Do a snip of each page and print it.
Oh God, that's so tedious. What about if I want to run it at a convention? If I'm a GM and I'm thinking about running for Legends of Greyhawk, getting involved.
There you go.
And I would contact either Thomas or Dave or someone like that. Am I getting am I just getting it sent to me on D&D Beyond, and then I have to just how do I do it in person?
It depends on the event. So like, let's just take Gen Con, for example, right? Just because it was a couple weeks ago, right? All my DMs got PDF versions of all those adventures because those are premier adventures. You can't even get them online yet. They're getting a PDF of that Word document, just like we've all been used to for years and years and years. But if, say, a convention in 6 months from now wants to run it, they're not poking me to run it. It's on D&D Beyond, right? They can go as a convention organizer, right? They could go and purchase the adventure, and then they could set up a campaign, right? If they're a master tier member, they can share the content with their DMs, and then their DMs could run it off a laptop. They could run it off a tablet. Right. A DM could try to do a dirty print job out of a web browser window, right? Whatever works for them.
You're acting like printing is.
I have print copies of everything.
Iron Chef Midi into 8-Bit, and 8-Bit, is he part of your community? 8-Bit Sledgehammer? Is that someone?
So Sledge is part of our community. Right. Midi nice is he's actually in my Legends of Greyhawk home game that I run here at my house.
Awesome.
So great. That's Mitch. I already know him. Beautiful. They're all really, really great, but they have lots of tips and tricks.
Yeah, Midi said he's going to send me a plugin, Josh, and then I'll forward it.
That's cool. And then Dragger here says they manually copy things into Obsidian, which I know and love well. I often convert AD&D modules into Obsidian so that I can have things like cleaned up maps and stuff like that.
And I know for Roll20 especially, you can plug in with a plugin through Chrome and be able to do all the rolls and bring up the monster stat blocks and roll right into the D&D or the Roll20 environment.
Yep. Yeah.
Beautiful. So there's a lot of options.
Yeah, those are the people to go to because I've never run a game online in my life. I like sitting around the table, right? Again, old. So they have lots of
I love
tricks,
running virtual games. There's not, and I'm probably as old as you.
Well, so there's ways to run. Tony and Jeremy will tell you. I run and I zoom in everyone, and I play full tabletop on my 8-foot table. There's ways of doing it. Moving the miniatures around and stuff. I mean, it works great. Josh just played Thursday night, right, Josh?
Yeah, except for the fact that your cameras weren't working right. So you did have technical problems then with us. That's right.
You're such a.
So that was the second.
Yeah,
Tonight's the third.
Thanks for just sharing that with the world here. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's always technical issues with live streaming.
We made it work, but it didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, I know.
We still had a great game.
Yeah, it was fun. But there's it's just a matter of figuring out how to do something. And in person's the best way to go, right? Everyone loves it. That's why cons are never going to go away. Conventions, people want to be person to person. It's just fantastic.
It's a different experience.
Yeah, but virtual.
If I wanted to get my games in it, I don't have anyone to play Legends of Greyhawk with. Yeah. Then I can get, because I mean, the way that I got back involved was to say if it wasn't running Greyhawk, don't talk to me about it.
Right.
I've changed. Yeah. Once you start, going to conventions, all of a sudden you're like, someone's like, hey, do you want to sit with me and my friends that you've been talking to for 10 minutes and you want to play a game? And then be like, okay. And then all of a sudden you start having different opinions about trying new things.
Look, once I get something, I promise if you want that Myth and whoever else, I will, I give everything out. I give out my crit tables, everything. So don't worry. I'll make sure you get it. Just ask. Just send me a Discord message. It's Lord Gazum, but it's not hard to find, and we'll make sure that after Mindy sends it to me, I'll send it out.
What's
Don't
that
worry.
chatter about the possible fourth PO coming online? Was it the virtual one or something, or?
There's 3 of us right now. I've heard no chatter, right? Which doesn't mean there's chatter that might be happening, might not be happening.
Okay.
I'd love to see some more out of, non-stateside
That'd be awesome.
POs. But as I mentioned earlier, right now we're already making more content than we have the ability to distribute it, right? So bringing on more POs, creating more content doesn't fix that problem, right? It just exasperates it, right? So, from my perspective, right, bring a new PO on saying, cool, you can have all this awesome content, but you can never actually send it to anybody, right? That's just not a very ideal situation, right? It's, you don't want to have and have nots. So there's some logistic pieces I think that really just need to be ironed out. But I'd love to. Not that it's my decision. I'm just saying, hey, this singular bald guy, right, would love to see, right, more voices, more cool adventures.
I'm going to ask the Grognard question. Well, I don't play 5e, blah, 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 blah. Now, everyone knows you can convert almost anything. How easy is it to convert to first edition, second edition, fifth, third, whatever you play.
Fourth edition. I need to convert to fourth.
It's a normal, just adventure, right? It's easy to convert to anything. David, would that be your answer?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Greyhawk's always, right? Monsters are monsters, right?
Yep.
I convert first edition stuff just on the fly all the time, right? Especially Greyhawk stuff, right? It's like, right? I just ran, Expedition to Barrier Peaks, right? And I was just swapping things in and out, as we were doing it. It's a good story is a good story. It's not it has nothing to do with the system, the edition, the anything, right? Hamlet's a great story. Run it in whatever system you want to run it in.
I'll butter someone up here. So was Xanthoria, which I converted, right, Tony? From Candlekeep Mysteries. What a great adventure that was. Zugtmoy destroying everything. Yeah.
Zuggity.
Yeah.
She's trouble. Trouble.
It was trouble. I was like, my God, Jeremy, you're in for trouble now. Knowing the way Tony's mind thinks with that adventure. Holy jeez. That was crazy.
Don't worry. I'm running her through Dragonlance. She'll get her payback.
That's great. Yeah, so it's easy to convert. So these anything you get here, you should be able to convert to whatever edition you play. Castles and Crusades, doesn't matter, right? OSE, whatever. But the content and the story is what's important. In reverse, Anna and myself and SRM and all the other people involved have been saying it's the same thing with any of the new books coming out that are 5th edition. The storyline and all the content is what's important, not the game system it's in. Okay,
you have crunch and you have fluff. Right, crunch is the rules. Fluff is Greyhawk. Right, that's the Greyhawk. It's the stories.
Absolutely.
It's the characters. Yeah. It's the places. Right, not saying it's not important. It's the most important part. Right.
Don't you call my Greyhawk fluff?
Well, that's why I had to clarify, John. Right. We don't want to call it. To me, fluff's the important part. Right. I buy books and systems that I have no intention of ever using a single rule in that book, because I'm more about the setting and the story. And what can I take and what can I steal and all that kind of stuff. The rules are like, whatever, right? I'll run the system that I like to run it in.
The names of the monsters haven't really changed either. So how, this encounter has, you were attacked by a bunch of bugbears. Well, maybe you need to tweak the exact number of them based on the edition. But other than that, I mean, it's still, you're attacked by a bunch of bugbears. Like,
yeah, gnolls are a big delta on AD&D to 5th edition. They are significant. You don't put some gnolls against first levels in 5th edition, but yeah, most of the time it's just
most of the time it's relatively easy to swap.
Yes. Yeah, I think the harder it gets is at the higher levels you go, right? Like that sweet spot is from 5 to 8. Everyone loves 5th to 8th, right? That's where it is. Once you get up in 13th, 14th, 15th, I mean, it gets tough. It gets tough because every one spell could change an entire encounter, and that's where I would see probably a little bit of a challenge, but anything's possible. Absolutely. Like I said, right here in this group, there's probably 250 to 300 years of DMing experience. That's how old we all are, everyone in the in chat, right? I got 46, 48. David's got 47. Greg's got 45. Anna's got 46. Josh is 70. No, just kidding, Josh. Tony, we have a crazy amount, and it just comes second nature after a certain amount of time.
2 of them are good.
But you could.
Wow.
Yeah.
We all had our good stretches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just like you look back on that. We did a reminiscing talk show a couple weeks ago, and just all the stuff that we did from 1987. It's just like, wow, man. And now 40 years later, we're still playing and still having fun, and that's a great thing. So, all right, what we got here? We got any questions from the audience here? I'm throwing them out there. Anna, you got to have something you want to ask. You haven't.
Well, there's been so many good questions asked, but I'm more like, how many different conventions are you present at? All the big ones, I assume, but other conventions you want to kind of promote here? Yeah.
Me. So we are at rounding out the rest of the year, right? We'll be in PAX West in Seattle first, over Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, we have our virtual D&D weekend convention every single month. And then our next one will be PAX Unplugged, which if you haven't been to PAX Unplugged, if you're out on the East Coast, I'm starting to call it kind of mini Gen Con.
Yeah.
Right. It's really, at this point, it's like a half-sized Gen Con. When you walk the exhibit hall, you'll recognize all the booths. You're like, these are all the booths from Gen Con, right?
Yeah.
In Philly. That rounds out our year, but then we'll be at Page. I know a lot of people here will be at Page in January. I took over Winter Fantasy. I own Winter Fantasy now. Wizards gave it to me years and years ago, which of course was the RPGA show started by, Frank and Gary way back in the day. We just had I think it was last year. Was last year our 50th? Last year was the 50th Winter Fantasy.
Wow.
So
where does that happen?
Where
does that happen?
That happens in wonderful Fort Wayne, Indiana. Everybody was like, why Fort Wayne? And as Greg and Jeremy and Tony know, right, we're in Fort Wayne because Fort Wayne hates money.
They absolutely do.
The convention center has like a promotion video, and I'm in the video promoting the convention center saying, this convention center hates money. You should put your show here. Right. And it's just because the whole town is just so utterly affordable compared to a lot of places that we go to for shows, Gen Con. Right. And, so that's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then we do PAX East.
Oh, nice.
Right, we do PAX East. We did MomoCon last year. We do Origins, right, and then it's just right back around to Gen Con, and you start it all over again. So normally, now we're about 20 or 22 shows a year.
What about the other POs, Greg?
What about them?
And where are they all at? Other than, of course,
Thomas Valley runs a bunch of shows in the South. QuestCon.
North Texas.
Yeah, we've got a handful down there, and then he
also
also
does Dragon Con too now.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I believe he's at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
What's up, Nash?
He also does Gary Con, so he's Wisconsin and Florida, so it's a weird combo of the South.
It's just called a snowbird. We call that.
Yeah. and that's because that is Thomas's life, right? Grew up here and then moved there. And then Daryl Wolf and the folks over at West Coast Adventurers Guild, they do a whole bunch of stuff all along the West Coast and sort of like the Southwest, as well as some stuff into Canada.
Great. It's so
interesting.
I was shocked at Gary Con last year how many tables you had going constantly. What was it, 25?
20.
I think there were 29 running simultaneously.
Yeah.
Truthfully, part of it was actually we were space limited. Like if there was more space, we would have ran more tables probably.
And most of them were sold out.
Right? Yeah, generally they were. Yeah. They were sold out, and if they weren't, because of the way their ticket system works, a ticket would pop up, and the 70 people that have the email me when a ticket's available would get an email, and someone would snatch it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, so and you're looking at 6 players at a table max, or is it 8? What's the max?
usually it's 6 at a convention.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll do 7 if depending on what it is, but
So
usually it's 6.
You're running almost 180 people almost constant at these cons.
Oh, yeah.
For example, at Gary Con.
Of course.
So everyone think about that. That is like from 9 a.m. till what, 9 at night?
Oh, but Dave, how many is a slot at Gen Con?
I was just going to say Gen Con has got to be.
It's
double.
So we just missed, so we almost hit another milestone and we just
Right.
missed it at Gen Con. So I'm going to hit that milestone at PAX West here in a few weeks. At PAX West, we will have our 300,000th person that we've run through a game of D&D since I started doing
That's so
this.
fantastic.
And you had lots of tables at Gen Con. There were tons of them.
It's, at Gen Con, every 2 to 4 hours, we're shuffling around usually 500 to 600 people.
Yeah.
So at a show like Gen Con, by the end of the show, we will have run usually somewhere between 7,000 and 8,500 people at a Gen Con through a game of D&D of some sort. So it's you get good at shuffling. We call it herding cats, right? You get really good at herding cats.
Are there plans for? I know you guys, when the Living Greyhawkers had these monster weekends, 8-hour games. Is there anything down the road like this is going to be a big event we're going to run, like outside of like your standard 3 to 4 hour game sets?
So we did Castle Greyhawk,
like the large interactives you had.
Right. Oh, we do those. We still do those. Like we did Black Star Commission was our Gen Con one. We usually have 2 or 3 of those a year.
Okay.
They're always a really good time. And then, sorry, my brain sidetracked off your original question.
Yeah, the large interactives where you got so many tables and you got to get through those. You got to get through these early things to get to that final table. And then you have. I've heard stories because we had all the Living Greyhawk people on for years on Legends and Lore, and it talked about these fights that would go on for hours and hours. I know that was 3.5, and it was a little different than.
We don't do the 8-hour ones.
Yeah,
we tend to keep things into 4, or we break pieces, right, to make it a little easier for people to do schedules. I don't know if that's us getting older and sitting at a table for 8 hours is a lot now. As it appeared, it used to be Mountain Dew, right? Give me all the Mountain Dew and the sugar, and I'll sit here all day long. But we still do those types of events. At least for us, our big show every year is Winter Fantasy. That's where we do our big. We always say Winter Fantasy has more new content than you could actually play in the amount of time that you have there, right? So if you're a Legends of Greyhawk person, that's your show, right? You could literally go there and play. I think last year we had 9 different author-only events there that can only be run, like Greg mentioned. Like Greg was there running an author, Tony was running there, right? You can play 9 adventures there that you can't play anywhere else, right? So that's our big show.
When's Winter Fantasy again next year?
It's the 2nd weekend of February.
Oh.
So
it's Valentine's Day weekend.
No, we avoid Valentine's Day because as much as the world wants to say we're all a bunch of nerds and we don't have dates for Valentine's Day, that is 1,000,000,000% incorrect. It costs us way too many significant other points to hold a show on that weekend. So we always.
My dad still doesn't believe you. He used to call D&D dudes without dates.
So
I was going to say I might have an out on that one.
It's the 3rd to the 7th, by the way.
Oh, so it's the 3rd to the 7th of February. So it's the first weekend.
Yeah.
So it is always before the 14th, and we will not be on the weekend that is the 14th.
Okay.
I did that once, thinking, it's not a big deal. Yeah. I was incorrect.
We have our Monster St. Jude fundraiser the 3rd weekend of February every year. And this will be the 9th year for it. So, and that'll be the 18th through the 21st of February. So there's no conflict there for anyone in our community if you go to Winter Fantasy. And instead, last year raised over $36,000 that weekend. So we're going to keep on cranking it up every year. And that was Tony and Jeremy played that and fought Sathaga at the end of that. Remember Ed? He's going to sacrifice himself, and Ravalantar, Ed's Greyhawk Mage, teleported high, 50 feet above it, and fell down like the frickin' coyote would in a cartoon. It was funny.
That was great.
Yeah, with that teleport.
But I just saw Iron Chef, Mitty mentioned, right, at Winter Fantasy this year, they rescued Thrommel, right, which was one of our first really.
Thank God.
Did they cured his vampirism?
Please.
That remains to be seen, right?
No.
He's not the same person, right?
Dave. Book 2 and
different.
Book 2 and Melf, he's going to be king of Free Undies. So I'm just telling you that right now.
There you go, right? But that was our first thing, right? When I mentioned earlier, the what if, right? What if, right? Because he
wasn't a vampire, right?
He's not a vampire. Shut up with the vampire bullshit, all right? It's the worst.
I guess he can run for you in the as a vampire.
It's the worst piece of lore ever written. Monty Cook should be shot for that, okay? I'm sorry for saying that. It's a word.
So, Jay,
the evil is awful.
Rommel is gonna be the king of Furiandi? They're gonna have undead vampires as the king of
that's
Furiandi?
technically a possibility. So
we took a big 180. We took a big 180.
Yeah, please. So finally,
he's not undead. He's just goth.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry.
Just
you guys all knew shit. Mitty knew. They all knew how to
turn him to a gnome or a halfling while they're still at it. So, yeah.
98% of the people who ran Temple Elemental Evil rescued Thrommel. Right? It didn't make any sense. Back in the day, 1987, we ran that adventure. We rescued Thrommel. We became king.
Jolene.
Stop. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I apologize. He did it. You guys set me off on purpose. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I didn't realize it was going to be that easy. So
I know all Jay's buttons.
I walked right into
this is clearly a sore spot.
You guys all know how much I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, it's the worst. There's worse things, but Philidor is number 2, and that's number 1. Okay. Philidor the Blue.
I got my cosplay idea now because the theme for the Gary Con cosplay is Greyhawk.
Yeah. Don't you dare come as a
Philidor
vampire.
the Blue Man. Yeah.
You come as Philidor. Do not come as vampire.
Oh my God.
Do not.
Thrommel the gnome vampire.
I will get into one of those
blue gnome vampires. So
I'll find one of those little
scooters
and I'll run your ass over like I did 2 years ago. I couldn't walk. Right?
You clipped me. Yeah.
That
was good.
There you go. All right. Sorry.
It wasn't. You said it was an accident.
It wasn't an accident, Josh.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Fun times. Yeah. So. Look, Og, you're all talking about Thrommel during an ad break. I'm sorry. So, look, I'm a Twitch partner. I got to run ads. Please just sub. The best, then you don't have to worry about it. Subscribers don't get the ads. So, that's the easiest way to do it. Sorry about that. My apologies for it. All right.
You didn't miss anything. Jay was going on about some rumors about him not being a vampire.
They put an ad break in very perfect timing. So,
yeah. Look, even Dewey Carthon's on now. Awesome, dude. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Thrommel the halfling vampire.
On top of the Doom Grinder. Yeah, another thing.
The Doom Grinder.
The worst invention ever written.
Well, Dracula.
Blue Doom Grinder, and we're good.
I like
That'd
puppets.
be rad.
I like puppets more than the Doom Grinder. Okay, so
that was going to be my question. As soon as you said worst adventure, my brain's like puppets.
So Dave, you got to take water or slick oil and turn it into wine. So Eric Mona gave me an idea, and I ran. It's called. This is a joke from Bachelor Party. I called it Puppets and Then Some. You get the joke from Bachelor Party, you understand what I'm talking about. So you got Freddie McCruger, my buddy Bill Mastercrafter. He painted a Freddie McCruger figure from Puppets, and we just had fun with it. And I ran it for like 2 years at cons. When all the puppets came alive and they had to fight them all, it was fun. I added the Zuni Fetish Warrior doll from Trilogy of Terror in that. Yeah,
that's right.
So you got to make good. There is hope for almost everything. Not for Doom Grinder.
Doom Grinder was great. I love that one.
No, the lore. Do we all agree that Sargent did some wonderful lore in From the Ashes, where he did all these plot arcs and stuff you could run with, and that Doom Grinder was a wonderful story. Leave it alone. Don't run an adventure with a frickin' cigar box, with a. Josh, you are pushing my buttons.
I think you found his second button.
Yes.
I'm making notes.
I know where like 10 more are.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So now we have right, Thrommel, the gnome vampire on top of the Doom Grinder, right?
And Philidor the blue,
if you want to ever see me go postal, just put that in find that way to get that into canon and make him a gnome vampire in the future, and you got it. And then,
every edition need to reinforce these things from now on.
You know, Jay, Yandi is very close to High Folk. Maybe Philidor becomes the court mage for, Vampire Thrommel.
That's a good one. The blue court mage. Yeah.
Even Tony's laughing. It's not funny.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Bring Philidor back. Who else do we want to torment Jay with?
Man, don't torment me. That's enough. That's enough. Tormenting me. Look, just goes to show you how much I love Greyhawk, right? In 1980, when you got that folio, right? Before the 83 box that came out, it was like a kid. I was 12 years old. It was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever written. Look at this map. Look at all the heraldry, right? It was wonderful. And we never left. We've been there. I've run 1,205 adventures in my campaign to date. So, yeah. And
I may bring sock puppets to WF to make this reality. What's the Winter Fantasy?
Winter Fantasy. That would be funny.
Fantasy.
I'm really seriously considering trying to get the Winter Fantasy this year. It sounds like, Dave, it's your con, so you can do whatever you want. And
I do whatever I want.
Oh, that's awesome.
I always say the show is just it's 300-400 people tops. I really don't want it to be any bigger than that, because then it just becomes work. And it's really an excuse to get all my friends together in the winter, and we have a lot of drinks and good food, and we play D&D and we roll dice, and there's no stress. There's no early mornings. There's nothing, right? We don't start till 9. Some people don't show up till noon, right?
And there really are more adventures than you can play in the slots of the con.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Where do you fly into? You fly into Indianapolis? Where do you fly into?
You can fly into Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne has an airport. It's not the biggest airport. You're not going to find a direct flight there unless you're in Chicago or Detroit. But there's a rule in conventions called the 6-hour rule, and the 6-hour rule says that, especially in the Midwest, people will drive 6 hours to go to a show. Most people, if the drive is longer than 6 hours, they will fly instead, which means the number of people willing to come to your show goes down because flights are more expensive. So you want to place your show where, if you draw a 6-hour driving circle around your event, you want as many people inside that circle as possible. You draw a 6-hour driving circle around Fort Wayne, it's like 100 million people. There's just about every big city.
It includes Chicago. Yeah.
It includes Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Indy. There's a massive amount of people in that circle, which is why when people are always like, well, why are all the shows in the Midwest? Like, because there's a crap ton of people in a very small geographical area.
And the upper Midwest, we're all snowed in anyway, so it's like that's a great time to play some D&D. Greg, where are you appearing next? What's your next jam?
The next con I'm at is Game Home. I'll be at
and you're running there? You got events? Did they already all book up? I think events opened.
Well, no, because this weekend VIG and guest pre-reg happened. The pre-reg hasn't happened, so I'm premiering Ruins of Farlast there. So my AO premiere there, plus there's a whole bunch of other things. I'm also premiering outside of Greyhawk. They've got their own campaign as well called Wardens of the Eastern Marches, and I've got a premiere in that as well.
Oh, nice. Go see
if you are an animal lover, that is a good mod for you.
His mod is great, actually. I wrote one of the other mods for the Warden stuff, and so Greg and I were talking about it, and he was cracking me up.
Everyone, Gary Hoolian Pluffett Smedger himself is in chat, so there you go. If you want to know there he is right there. Gary, good to see you, man.
Gary.
You just missed me go off on Vampire Thrommel again for the 500th
and
time.
all the other ones. So you treated him well.
Yeah, you guys got
this
me
time.
good this time. So are there plans for this, like in Dragonlance or in Dark Sun or in FR or any others, or is it just Greyhawk for having the Legends?
For me, I barely have time to do this. Right.
Okay.
So I can't speak to anybody else, but I have no right? What's the first rule of gaming, right? Don't split the party, right? So
no,
this is what I'm doing.
I mean, Adventurers League still exists in the Forgotten Realms if you want to play it.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, and there's Dragonlance and that stuff for Adventurers League as well. So I don't know that any new stuff is being produced for those yet, but
okay. Just was curious if you had heard anything on them, because I know there's a lot,
Really, we're all in on Greyhawk.
Yeah, that's great to hear. It's fantastic to hear. Oh my. All right. What other questions the audience have? I know we kind of tapped out a lot of the. How about this, Dave? What's the penultimate goal? Let's say through 27 and beyond. What would you love to see as far as direction or growth, or this is where I want to be in a year or two?
I hope my shorter half keeps letting me do it, right? So that's step one, right? So as long as, as long as this keeps letting me take her on a vacation somewhere with sand and sun once a year, right? I think she'll let me keep doing it. But I just want to see, like, I love sharing the things that I'm passionate about, like I'm sure a lot of us do, right? And I love Greyhawk, right? So I want to see, I want to see Greyhawk running at all the stores. I want to see Greyhawk running at local conventions. Like, I want everybody to fall in love with it like the way I've always loved it. And at the end of the day, though, just, people rolling dice, having fun, from the campaign, right? We're probably not next year, right? People are talking about tier 3, which is, level 11 plus. And like you mentioned, Jay, that's when things can get complicated.
Yeah.
I have no desire to go rush into that space, right? Greyhawks always seem to really live right in that 5 to 9, 5 to 10 range, where there's a lot of fun stuff you can do. Right? It's never been a 17th level characters running around destroying the world kind of place, or at least not to me.
I agree 100%.
So next year's just going to be, how do we make it more accessible? How do we get more people playing?
Okay.
Greyhawk has a slower advancement speed for a purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. It should, because bashing anyone else. I heard that when you Adventures League, if you just participate, you go up a level. I was like, what? Yep. That's insane. So for example, Tony, your character's like 7-7 stole my game. It's been like 4.5 years, right? And like Jeremy's character, I think just turned 8th. Is a specialty priest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that's it. I mean,
you don't go fast, and I appreciate that.
What's that?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you want to enjoy the transition all that time. You want those characters to have meaning. You want those characters to interact. It's just like there's no hurry to get anywhere.
Well, you got to get to know your character too. Like if you're advancing so fast, I always feel like I just got a power. What can I do now again? Like you don't get to like kind of enjoy it, and you're on to the next thing right away. So there's a happy middle ground there.
I mean, yeah, two of the funnest things in D&D to me, at least, right, is gaining a level and finding a cool magic item, right?
Yeah.
So why cheapen those things? Like why make them pointless and meaningless, right? If you level so fast, then leveling just doesn't even become a thing anymore, right? It's just right. I can just be whatever level I want to. It's what's the point?
Yeah. So the league supports 1st to 10th, or what's the levels?
Sounds like it.
So your characters start at 1st.
Yeah.
There's no starting at higher levels. It's wanted. So the first 4 levels.
Greg, it's like 1 sec.
Well, there is a 5th level pre-gen, right, option, right? Which is an option, but right now, Anna, right, you start at 1st level. It takes whatever your current level, that number of adventures to go to the next level.
Oh,
so
cool.
It takes 1 to go to 2nd, 2 to go to 3rd, 3 to 4, 4 to 5th. Once you get to 5th, it's 4 adventures per level.
That's fair.
Right, so it takes you 10 adventures to get to level.
Perfectly fair.
10 to get to 5th level. It takes you 34 to get all the way to 11th level, where you've effectively leveled out of that. That band. 34 adventures. That's a lot of adventures. That's a lot of time invested in your character.
We do let you decline XP as well. So if you're like, I played 1 more adventure than my buddies, I don't want to level out of tier 1 play because we were going to play this adventure together. I'm going to not take my last XP.
That's cool.
And play
And
one more low level adventure.
we have an option where you can play a 5th level pre-gen. Say all your friends started a year ago and they're all 5th level. You want to play with your friends, right?
Yeah.
We want you to be able to play with your friends. So you can play what's called a 5th level pre-gen. You play the adventure with your friends. You can then take that leveling credit and apply it to a 1st level character. So you can play with your friends, but you're also kind of leveling up your own character until you catch up with your friends. And then once you catch up with your friends, you throw the pre-gen away and you play. Because we want people to be excited. We want them to get their friends excited to come and play. Yeah. So we don't want there then to be a barrier. Like nobody's ever brought their friend to a home game and said, sorry, we're running a home game, but you don't have a 5th level character. You have to go sit in the kitchen. Like, no, you figure it out. You let them play.
David, there's way too much common sense here. I mean, seriously, you guys have thought about a lot of it's about the camaraderie. That's what it's about, and that's the games that are successful. The games that have been playing for a long time are the people that have figured that out. You make this little adjustment for this character here, or you know what? I'm going to give you 1.5 times experience for this just to catch you caught up. When you're DMing at home, or that's the way to do it. You're absolutely correct, and you built that into the system, which is I really love. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
On my website that I linked earlier, I do a bunch of different blogs, but one of the ones that I do is often what's the thinking behind a rule like this?
Can you please relink it? Can you please relink it?
Yeah, I didn't see it when it went through.
But
please relink it.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
But I often do hey, this is the reasoning why, and here is the sort of advantages and disadvantages of the different rules. Like I often go through. And I've noticed a lot of people have commented that at least this campaign, it sure seems like you guys are thinking about how to make it fun for as many people as possible. Like, and I try to that common sense idea, just like you said, like usually there's an more or less obvious way to make it so that the most people can play.
Thank you.
Without overpowering one way or the other.
Right. But you have to build it in so it's a fair system now, because it's you're not just playing it at a home game, and that's the great thing about it here. So here we go. Let me bring this.
Yeah, you just don't want somebody to be able to make an 8th level character because somebody else is like, hey, I had to play 25 adventures to get there. Why did Bob just get to make it? Yeah. Right. And then people are like, this isn't fair. This is stupid. Right. We don't want that. Right.
Absolutely.
One way to think of it too, Jay, is
yes, Jeremy.
Greg has been playing RPGA since the 80s, and you've admin how many campaigns? Dave has been running conventions for WotC. Yeah, I'm seeing there's a ton of experience of seeing organized play through the years, from Living City, Living Jungle, through Living Greyhawk to there's a lot of experience to know what players want and what works, and it kind of changes with the times and the crowd.
By the way, I missed a question from Rick Miller, Dewey Carthon, who does a lot of writing, and there are a lot of work in the Beyond the Flaness project. Is there any expansion beyond the Darlene map?
Or the Schley map.
Or the Schley map. No?
Yeah, because that's the one you're using. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one. We always we like to say, like, right now the Greyhawk Bible is very, very small for the campaign because it's what is in the DMG. Right. And we go at it from the angle of, with adventures, we can build on to what was in there.
Right.
But we only ever assume that somebody knows what is contained in that little section with the Mike Schley map, right? And what's in the book. And then it's a balancing act, because you don't want to put adventures up on D&D Beyond that are just so soaked in lore that somebody feels like, I'm reading somebody's doctorate and I'm going to have to spend 18 hours reading this adventure before I can ever comprehend it to run it for my table. Like, there's people that love that, but the vast majority of people are like, I just need an adventure for this Wednesday. This thing looks fun. I want to be able to grab it and I need to be able to run it. Right. And so there's that thing of, you want to add a ton of cool stuff because we're all super Greyhawk nerds. Right. And it's what we want to do. But to most of the people that are going to sit down and play it all around the world, do they want that? Or is that something you put in like a sidebar, a supplement of like, hey, here's the adventure, right? Here's the Moat House adventure, right? And then here's all this cool, crunchy, cool, fun stuff that, if that's your flavor of ice cream you love, you can add to it. But if I just want a cool little dungeon crawl where I got to go smash this Lareth dude in the head, right, you can just do that.
One of the things I think happens with some of us more experienced, we'll say, gray-haired GMs, is that sometimes we get really excited about our darlings, these adventures we'll write, and we'll want to do some massive lore dump on the people. Like, but what you need to know is the following 20 minutes before you get to roll a dice once, and you do that once, and then you're like, whoops, that was bad. And then you get back to what you're talking about, which is if people want to find out more about the lore after that adventure because it was a good adventure, they'll go find out.
Yeah.
You don't, as a GM,
we don't need to.
We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to like. Here's the fire hose. Just enjoy, and we'll roll dice sometime after the first break. It's like no.
Those really cool places exist in Greyhawk, yes, and you are more likely to see them as part of like a special epic, or really a lot more likely to see them as part of an author only. So that's one of the big advantages to the author onlys is, well, they still come through me. They have a much broader, like, hey, I want to go to this region that isn't in anybody's region. Okay, that's fine. As long as, we have a set of rules, as long as you fit within, you can't be giving anyone a hand of Vecna or anything. But other than that,
you're right about that, though, Josh. With people wanting to dump, like when we're writing adventures, I'm looking for 6,000 words, 3.5 hours, right? And I've had authors where I'm like, hey, I'm paying you to write 6,000 words, and then I get this thing, and it's 15 or 16 or 18,000 words, and I'm like, holy Batman, right? And there are some people shading eyes and other things that are more guilty than other people, right? And it's like I get it. Right,
if you would like to know more, you know what I mean? You could. There's plenty of time, but kill your darlings, get them rolling dice in 5 minutes, because otherwise,
yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. Like if I'm looking for an adventure to run on my Wednesday night home game, and I sit down and I'm like, oh, this adventure sounds cool, and I click the button, and it's a 3.5 hour adventure, and it's 54 pages.
Yeah,
right. Somebody's looking at it going, what the actual, what? Like, I don't have time for 54 pages. Like, I'm expecting 16 pages, right? And that comes with a couple handouts and a map, right?
G1 was 9 pages.
Oh, the old stuff was super, super small.
When you look at so a lot of the original stuff was like either RPGA or like, okay, this will run at Gen Con 11, and this is the tournament game of, the slave lords, whatever. Those, read like GM notes, right? Originally, they got fluffed out afterwards when they were like, to turn this into a product, it'd be like taking one of Jay's adventures, which are great, and you'd have to fluff it out in order to, actually productize it.
Well, of course, because DMs aren't writing adventures. We're writing crap in notebooks, and the notebooks shred and fall apart, and that's it.
No, that's just you, because you're.
That's not just me. David's shaking his head up and down.
Challenged.
I understand completely. Don't no.
Most of the people, like Greg knows this, right? Most of the author only DMs that show up usually have a bunch of note cards, right? They have 3x5 note cards. They have a couple pieces of paper with some scribbles on it, and right, players will do something during the game, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I had that planned."
Tony's like, I feel it.
Right there. Improvise right
for the next time.
Oh man, I do that stuff all the time.
All the time.
They're like, it's this thing, and I'm like, it is now.
Yeah, you have a pretty map or handout, and I often print the table from the DMG that is this CR does this damage, has this to hit, this AC, and then I just use that. Like, this guy's got a lot of armor. His AC is 1 higher than what it should be for this CR. Like, just like little changes like that, and I just run it off of that.
Or if you're really spoiled brat like I am, you have terrain from your sponsors, like this from Gamescape 3D that I ran Saturday. Right?
Nice.
Yeah, really unbelievable stuff. And a good friend, Bill Mastercrafter, who's a wonderful artist, and can yank out some stuff really good. But it's just a matter of your play style. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing this in Theater of the Mind or VTT or returning to miniatures or just with paper and pencil. It doesn't matter.
Are you guys looking for any additional authors? Are you like, we're good? Like, thank you, but
right now we're pretty booked up good, I think. We've been, one of the things I've really I try to pay my people really well. Like all my authors, like all the DMs at all my shows, everybody's getting compensated in some fashion.
Hopefully some people are making some money right now, right?
Josh,
so right. So it's allowed us to bring in some pretty good talent like awesome. Greg and Tony and others. But we do a call every now and then. Savannah is my project manager that keeps all of my squirrels and cats running in the same direction at the same time and makes me look good. But we've had a lot of people approaching us, and we've been pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
I will say
what about
that,
the other POs? Go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
Oh, they are in a similar situation, from what I can tell. They also occasionally will put out a call, but please remember that it's not the organized play that you're used to, the way things used to be done. Like, we're going to pay you $50, you're going to write, a couple thousand words, and it's going to be passable enough that it runs at a con. Some of them are going to go up on D&D Beyond. They're being professional author rates, which also means professional author expectations for a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that someone who's kind of breaking in and has some experience isn't potentially going to get a shot based on, whatever qualifications. But I wrote a lot for my home game, and I think I could do this. We're probably looking for those people to, do some stuff on DM's Guild first, maybe do some other things. Because the POs are really looking for, I'm going to expect you to write these 6,000 words, and you're going to have a couple weeks to do it. And it has to follow a style guide, and it has to be pretty much near perfect. Right. So,
I mean, for us, we're paying between 20 and 30 cents a word.
Yeah.
For what we're doing, which I'm really happy with. It's more than most of the industry pays, unfortunately, right now. Right. So at that level of what we're paying, right, we're not expecting that we have to hold your hand or teach you what to do. Right. We expect that we're giving you a theme. We're giving you some plot points. We're giving you hey, this is when we're starting. This is when I'm expecting to see the first draft. And you do your thing.
Now, there's some groups, there's some people in this chat who are top flight. So, you never know.
Yes.
But yeah.
So there are great people. Like, I'll say this to all of you about the community. The community that we've developed on Cannon Fire and with Gary Julian's group there, and all the people in the stream and all the streaming channels and all the people who help, donate to the fundraisers and watch all of our streams and watch the talk shows and participate in chat and all. I mean, it's a great community, but a lot of us, just like David, I have a real job too, and I'm not retiring for 2.5 years. So it's like there's only so much time without the wife throwing us out of the house, right, Dave? I mean, yeah, it's a reality, or Tony throwing Jeremy out, So I'm just kidding, Tony. You guys are.
Why has it got to be that way? You don't think that
Tony's
Jeremy's got any flack?
I am so. I said this to Jeremy a couple years ago. I'm so happy that they met and are together now. I think you're both wonderful people. So and good friends. What's that? I'm kissing her ass. So,
well,
yeah.
And going along those lines, I get to write, which I enjoy, but it's not my full-time job. If I decide to write for Wardens, or if I do a module for Thomas Valley for Ernst, and I got to write with Tony because he wanted partners on it, some of that was by design, because if you're not used to it, there are deadlines, and real life can affect your ability to write and do other stuff. So I'm happy that I get to write a mod maybe every 1 to 2 a year. And there's sometimes I take a break just because my personal life or my real job takes precedence over that. That said, I love doing it. I love seeing like your reaction to my mod or, reactions to stuff I write because I like trying to be creative with what I do and do something different. That's the fun that I find. And is feedback. This was a great thing, or this was challenging, or I really like this NPC you wrote or this encounter you developed. And that's where I find a lot of the joy on it. The money, it's fun money to me. It's something that I get to pay for a con or enjoy, but it's really the writing that I enjoy doing because otherwise I do IT work for computers. That is not exactly creative or exciting most of the time to do. So
let me ask this question back. How much does that help your DMing? I bet you a lot, right?
It does. Because one of the challenges, judging for Dave, I had a challenging mod that was more adult centered in a different campaign, and I had a father with 2 kids that were 11, and I had to scale down and adjust on the fly to make the content mature. It was a Grim Hollow mod from Ghostfire and stuff, and 2 of my players on a Sunday morning were 11 and 12, and I had to adjust to make it work for that. But you get to run people like Greg or Tony. A lot of my friends have been playing in home campaigns or organized play for years, and to bring it to them and adjust the adventure difficulty requires a special talent, and it's really helped my home campaigning. So
beautiful. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about the home games. That's where it ends. Playing with your friends.
For you.
What? Playing with your friends. I consider everyone who plays in my campaign online or in person as a friend, right?
Are we friends?
Yeah, absolutely. No matter what you do to stab me in the back. I'm just kidding, Josh.
I didn't know you claimed me.
That's cool. Come on, dude. I love you, dude. You know that.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's the other thing too. The organized play is how I've met a lot of my friends, a lot of my close friends.
Yeah,
I go to Gen Con as much to hang out with Greg and Tony and Dave and other people I've met. And that's the one time where we can have somebody judge for us and not one of us has to judge. We get to all play together. It's like I got the opportunity to run Dave on that Friday morning with his friends from high school, and that's the opportunity that sometimes these organized play campaigns can give you, is a chance to play with your friends without one of you having to judge. Not that isn't a rewarding
sometimes
experience.
We get lucky.
Yeah.
There, no more ad breaks for you, dude. 8-bit. I paid for your sub. All right. There you go. So you don't have to worry. I am fair. Yeah, there you go. All right. Paid for the sub. All right, cool. All right. Any other questions? Because I know you guys. This has been fantastic. Like in a roundabout or a direct, all 4. Like just say something you are looking forward to within the next 6 months. That's maybe I'm trying to maybe sneak something. Greg will a tidbit out there here and there. Something you're with the Legends of Greyhawk that in the next 6 months that you're really excited about. Who wants to go?
I have mine, and I want to say it before Dave goes so that he can.
Right. I guess the funny part, the thing that I am the most excited about is the thing that I can't quite yet talk about, but it's going to be a Gen Con next year. But over the next 6 months, we're going to be doing a lot of work. And just for the people doing it, has nothing to do with the new book coming out whatsoever. But we're working with Wizards and Gen Con, partnering up with them to do something really, really big and really, really cool at Gen Con next year. And I'm really hoping over these next 3 or 4 months, we get the details knocked out so that, come next March, when people start talking about the event catalog rolling out for the show, we can start doing some talking about it.
But you can tell me.
No.
Oh, I already did during our meeting at Gen Con, right?
Right. When we met at Gen Con, I forgot.
We met at Gen Con and didn't meet at Gen Con.
Anything for Gary? I mean, we're all big Gary Cons. We usually have about 60 people from the community go to Gary Con each year. Anything special going to happen at Gary Con next year? David, anything you can think of? Special for Gary Con next year.
So Gary Con's, that's the Thomas show, not a Dave
show. It's Thomas. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if I'm at Gary Con, I'm just there in my civilian clothes, wandering around saying, ignore the man behind the curtain. I'm just here to roll dice, right?
Just here to have fun until he's not, but that's another. Yeah.
Josh,
that's what Gamehole Con is for me. Gamehole Con is I'm just gonna go hang with my friends and play games, and I'm responsible for nothing, and it's glorious.
Yeah, that's what I love about Gamehole. I just go.
Excellent. Okay, Greg, now you can go.
All right. I'm glad that he chose that one. The thing I am most excited for is the October DDB release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's in the October? Can you tell us what's in the October?
Well, there will be the next set of adventures, which I can't tell you where they are, but they're a place we have not gone before.
Oh.
And they are also going to premiere on DDB, which we also have not done before. So
yeah,
I'm
so
very
they will
excited.
Be brand new, never run at a show, never run anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get to play it for the first time at home. So this is one of those, we talk to the community and they're like, you support Con so much? Yes, we're a Con first program, but we are always thinking about the folks online and the folks at home too. So they're going to get a little something, have the first chance to play it at home.
Beautiful.
And it's a region we have not yet visited.
That is exciting, man. That's a good one. So that makes a lot of people in chat happy, right? Look at that. Squeeze it right out.
See, good dancing, Greg. I was like, how is he gonna talk about this?
You know nothing here. So all right, Jeremy and Tony, what are you looking forward to?
I actually also was pretty looking forward to the October stuff. So it'll be pretty cool. There's so much stuff happening, and sometimes timelines get kind of wonky. Like I'm like, wait, what? Something got moved to where and when and what's going on? So sometimes it gets a little bit tough to keep track of what's actually coming up and what's not. But as it gets closer, it's usually more clear. So the October stuff is going to be cool.
Jeremy.
Well, I'm kind of the low man on the totem pole here because I'm just a judge and sometimes designer or author. So hopefully I'll get a chance to write another Legends of Greyhawk mod here in the next couple months or in the year. Got some other personal stuff going on, but that's really one of my creative outlets to reach to other people. So
puppets.
See, your correct answer to that, Jeremy,
puppets
and Tony, was to play again at Page and at GaryCon again right in person
with
again.
You, yeah,
of course, man.
Well, I mean, I am going
exactly
to Page.
Legends of Greyhawk.
I know.
There you go.
Page is awesome.
So. Yeah, and usually do go to GaryCon. So
we're all special guests.
But usually I just have fun at that one. So
I
am doing, the tower.
What's that, Dave? You go on Page?
I said I'm going to try to. I couldn't last year. Last year was my son's senior season of basketball.
Understood.
So I kind of made this thing of like, it's his last year playing basketball. I'm not missing a game. Right. So Paige would have forced me to miss 2 games of, my son's senior season. And I was just like, I love me some D&D, but no, I'm not going. So hopeful this year. We'll see.
So if Greg, if you're going too, I have a soiree at my house the night before on Wednesday night. So,
nice.
So we'll just, I live in South Jersey, not far across the bridge. So we'll have everyone over, have some of the other
into his basement with all
into the gaming basement. So, yep. So, please, you're all invited to come hang for that. That's a fun time. And we'll just
my Thromble vampire costume.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh, you'd be my hero forever.
We all know
even
what
my
to
wife
dress up
knows
for.
about vampire Thromble. Oh my God! So yeah, but that's all.
Best take on the whole Temple of Elemental Evil thing. Like, it was kind of like the proto Ganazi, right? With all those templates you could add on, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Loved it.
You're lucky this replica Conan sword is only this big. So that's all I got to say. So, yeah. But.
No, it's not the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's.
Philidor the blue.
Stop busting my.
I kind of want to know why you hate Philidor so much now too.
It's a freaking ripoff of the Blue Wizards from Lord of the Rings #1, right? And because Sergeant was a very big Lord of the Rings thing. Do we
so what isn't ripped off from somebody?
I mean,
it was a direct ripoff right from the Blue Wizards. It was
the whole. So downtown Lake Geneva is basically you can't walk 5 feet without walking into a historic something or another. And when Gary, so there's this, I was walking over to Hort Hall, a block away is a it's a boba tea joint, but it used to be a bookstore. And Tom Wam goes, the guy with the engineer hat, he was TSR employee 13, goes, that's where Gary met Jim Ward. Gary saw him in the bookstore with a Lord of the Rings book and said, "Hey, how would you like to play a game that's set in kind of a Lord of the Rings world?" And Jim Ward was like, "What? Play the?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds great." And that's how it. So you can't go. I mean that, and Hort Hall actually is where Tower Gygax folks who've already put Jeremy and Tony into a headlock to make sure that they're going to be running for them. They are looking. Oh, and they got you too? Yes. I know they were trying. They need to get Dave now, and it'll be a complete whatever, Kumplafeet or something. What do you spell that? And they're thinking about for Wednesday, doing this Lake Geneva experiences over at Hart Hall, which was Gen Con 1, and ultimately where Greyhawk debuted, maybe doing like a Legends of Greyhawk Day on Wednesday. Curtis and Brett, like a pre-con, maybe do, and we just got to get some GMs sorted, and you could maybe go do like a first to third kind of experience.
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Josh,
we can do this. No, they're going to put something probably in Hort Hall this year on Wednesday, and they wanted Legends of Greyhawk. They just we haven't figured out who we're talking to about getting GMs in there and stuff like that. Probably Thomas. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, we want to talk and figure out what we're going to do, but Curtis, it could be cool.
Curtis reminded me about something. I could say this, Curtis, because I have no idea what frickin' time or date that they're playing, but Tower of Gygax, Tony, Jeremy, and Greg are all DMing at the same time, 3 tables, right?
What?
Yep.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We have not discussed things yet.
We didn't want anyone to be able to play at all of our tables. This was just our method of doing that.
Yeah, we just said make you choose. No.
Now, which is cool. That is awesome, but is it cooler? Greyhawk Mike, myself, and Tony and Tiffany Rose Nickel are all at the same time as well too. So there you go. So we got some power hitter. We're three across tables, which is awesome at Tower Gygax this year. Gonna be
Curtis is like, what I don't tell you. He's one of the organizers.
Yes, he's the organizer of it, but I didn't give away any times there, Josh. Curtis.
I know. I'm pleased. You're not supposed to know who you're going to get when you sign up for your tower slot. It's supposed to be a dice throw.
So
you could wind up with Jay, or you could wind up with someone good.
That's not funny.
Wow.
That's all right. He can say that all he wants.
So much shade.
He can say, it's okay. Hey,
threw a whole blanket over that one.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry. He gives it as good as he gets it. Trust me. The next time I play, I'll be lucky if I make it out without something horrible being thrown on me.
So Dave, he's got this character. He's got a Druid Ranger multiclass, which was a rare multiclass that was allowed in that Orange Arcana era, right? And his name's Carl Spackler Leaf. It's Carl from Caddyshack. It's Bill Murray from Caddyshack, right, with the hat and everything. But
the Ranger Druid.
Yeah, he has this vision of these dire beavers that he needs to find, and my buddy made a miniature from one because we got this Prometheus clay from an ancient adventure called Fortress Elendar. Yeah, there we go. And now the dire beaver mini, and he went it was awesome. He freaked out and stuff the character. Yeah, it's fun. This is the kind of stuff I got to deal with in my campaign with all him.
Very silly.
People like that playing. Yeah. So any other final questions? Oh, the other thing one other thing, the moonbow. I hate the freaking moonbow. Anna loves it. I hate it.
Oh, yes.
All of a sudden. Oh, the elves got to go to Lender Isle now. What?
Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that too. Like, they part Len's Lender Isle, so the elves are going to go to Lender Isle now. What the hell is this all talking about? That's another crazy thing.
What was the reason for actually kind of turning Lendor into basically non-existent?
Lord of the Rings.
But why was that chosen? I mean, that's a place where there's adventure set.
That's what Sargent did. He was a Lord of the Rings guy. I mean, he did some great stuff, but there was some stuff I can't. Yeah.
But the only kind of defense or explanation is that Spindrift and the Lendor were kind of entangled all to begin with.
I shouldn't have brought that up.
And then the names and all that on the maps. So there's been very misconceptions in the writings of those islands.
Everyone loves their elves being 2,000 years old, possibly, right? The gray elves, of course. That's what we want. That's what we want. The character's never going to die. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we do the giveaway and we'll get everyone out of here because we're close on the 2-hour times. And I just wanted to say, wow, this is a wonderful discussion, and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I am so happy that it is this successful already. It's just going to go. The sky's the limit, right? David, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sky's the limit.
That's our goal.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. You're doing everything the right way too. You're making it easy for people, and that's the best thing. That's it. So I'm going to be downloading.
It's like meth, right? Your first taste of meth is free. Right? We want to make it easy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's too late. You're one of us.
Absolutely.
I feel like now we have some sort of fast lawyer talking on the bottom. Legends of Greyhawk campaign in no way supports you taking methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Where's Curtis when we need us?
I haven't done my half of a gummy yet tonight anyway. Yeah, that's coming. So
at my first Legends of Greyhawk game at Gen Con, it was awesome. I will say that.
Yeah. All right. So for everyone out there, we're
great GM.
Yeah. 2 giveaways. We won't do any of the shout outs tonight, Anna. We'll do them on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. Wednesday we will do large towns and small cities though. That's what we'll hit up. So we'll get into that range between 1,000 and 8,000. We haven't done that in a couple weeks, so that's what we'll do on Legends and Lore. Carrie's going to join us. Sam, if you're around, we'll have Sam join us too for that discussion with Grauch, Mike, and myself. All right, let's do the giveaway, and then we'll get you all out of here. And really, thank you so very much. Reach out to us anytime, please. If there's something you want to promote, I'd be more than happy. You got some big event you want to. I mean, look, we got 111 people on now, so we are, we have a good reach here on Twitch. Love to assist any way we can on here, and I would love to go to more cons, and I would love to go to Winter Fantasy. It sounds so awesome. That 400, that's the perfect amount. Calcium Con was that size, CNY was that size. Just those intimate cons are wonderful. North Texas isn't much bigger than that either, is it?
No, it's about the same size.
Yeah, it's about the same size. So those are
500, 550.
Those are great cons.
Yeah.
Prof,
absolutely.
no Buck Rogers Con. Oh God. No Kensington Con, no Buck Rogers Con. Yeah. So
why? That could be fun. You never know.
No. Here we
could all play Twiggies.
All right.
Instead of like, what's that game that Mike Merles does? Everyone's a kobold.
Everyone's
something like that. And you just start going through the monster manual, fighting them.
Gosh,
and everyone
dude.
just. It's awesome.
I ran that with Merle's one Gary Con, where everyone was a kobold fighting an ancient red dragon.
Yeah.
It was literally an entire seminar room full of people. It was like 100 people.
That's
hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, that is hysterical. Those are the fun things. All right, here we go. So first winner, you got to tell me what you want. You want the $25 gift certificate to Troller Games. I think that one's not digital. You can get whatever you want with it. Or I will mail you out these. This is the Arduin set from Emperor's Choice, our latest sponsor. They are wonderful guys. I don't have any of the back scratchers yet. I got to get more back scratchers. They're wonderful. So, yeah, great.
I never got a back scratcher from the Arduin guys.
Well, that's because you don't rate like I do.
I know. Jeez. What do I got to do to get a back scratcher?
All right, I'll bring you one.
You always have to have.
No, I need. Yeah, Anna's got her Arduin back scratcher.
Yeah, because you just gotta be that guy. All right, here we go. Let's see who wins. We're gonna raid into Sparkles Mandy, who then will raid into Marquis probably later on tonight.
Everyone's like flexing about their back scratchers.
Dale!
Yeah, you can't have a back scratcher. Yep.
It is a +3 back
about how I run my online game. So that's all right, Dale. Let me know.
+5.
Yeah, Dale. Let me know if you want. Well, I'm assuming you want the gift certificate. You should do a lot of Troll Lord stuff, but
Gale won or Dale won?
Dale won first. Yeah, Assure the Bear. Yep.
Wow.
And Tim O'Donnell, Enoch Pratt, the other winner.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. All right. So Dale, your choice, and whatever you don't want goes to Enoch. All right. Awesome. All right, Greg.
Rats.
Jeremy, Tony, and Dave especially.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. What a wonderful
Happy
time.
to be here.
All right, let me hit a wrong button. Now Dale just disappears all of a sudden. Now I gotta go.
You're gonna rate it?
Yeah, we're rating now. Yeah, 116, absolutely. We're rating it. We're rating it. There's always the technical issue with streaming. There's always a technical issue while streaming on Twitch. Yeah, well, give me a second because, you know, they make everything impossible, okay? They always change shit on here. And there we go. There it goes. Oh my gosh. Nature of man. Yeah, right. Okay. 95 viewers. 95 in the rating. Awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night. Thank you all. Boom. Just make sure the rating went. Greyhawk Night, 18+. So they run 2 Greyhawk games on the channel. I got them involved in it.